Greetings everyone, welcome to this video lecture. Dear aspirants, in this video we are going to address very key issue or challenge that each and every aspirant faces during preparation phase of UPSC Civil Services examination. And the challenge or issue is regarding right optional paper. Means which is the best optional paper or how to choose the best optional paper. If you have started your preparation or you are thinking about to start your preparation for UPSC Civil Services examination, then this video lecture is for you. Watch this video till end and your each and every kind of doubt regarding optional paper will be crystal clear. So first we will discuss the importance of optional paper, right? Then we will address each and every issue one by one. So let's see what is the importance of optional paper. So as we all know that UPSC Civil Services examination is conducted in three phases: prelims, mains and interview. So prelims is just qualifying examination. Its marks is not added in the mains or merit list, right? Mains examination, right? It can make you or break you. And in mains examination, optional paper plays a significant role, right? It is one of the deciding factor of your result. So let's see the importance of or weightage of optional paper. So as we all know that in mains examination, apart from two language paper, right, that is qualifying, we will not discuss about that. So first is essay paper, right, 250 marks. GS1 also carries same marks, 250 marks or 250 marks as I told. (250 marks). GS2 also 250 marks. GS3 250 marks. GS4 250 marks, right? Then comes optional paper. Optional, right? And in optional there are two paper 1 and paper 2, right? So two paper 1, right? And paper first and paper second, right? So each carries same 250 marks. Second paper also carries 250 marks. So in total there are 500 marks in optional paper, right? And the total marks in the mains examination is 750 marks, right? And you can see that out of 750 marks, 500 marks are from optional paper, right? That's why it is the deciding factor, right? And if you work hard, right, prepare well, practice your best, right, then you can fetch good marks. And good marks means generally in optional paper good marks is considered at least 280. If you are scoring 280, minimum 280, right, that is considered as good marks in means optional, right? And it can go up to 350, right? This is the range that you should go for, So, and you can see the weightage out of 1750 marks, 500 marks are from optional paper. And if you talk about percentage wise, this is around 28.57%, right? 28.57% of total marks. You can calculate, right? 500 is 28.57% of 1750 marks. So that is the importance of optional paper, right? Apart from optional paper, essay and GS4, right? These two papers, right, are also deciding factors. So mainly your result depends upon essay, GS4 and optional, right? Rest three GS papers, right, more or less any serious aspirant have more or less have same marks, right? Though it varies, but almost the range does not vary in these three papers, right? But these four papers, essay, GS4 means ethics and optional paper, right? These are your deciding factor, right? And only optional paper has weightage of 28.57% marks, means 500 out of 1750 marks, right? So this was the importance of optional paper. Now see the list of optional papers, right? How many subjects are there, right? And you should know the subjects. So in total, UPSC has mentioned in the syllabus 48 optional papers, right? 48 optional papers means 25 are core subjects and 23 are literature paper, means language paper, right? We will talk first, we will discuss the, as I said, that there are 48 optional subjects UPSC, that is mentioned in the syllabus of UPSC, right? And out of this, as I said, 25 are core optional subjects, right? Each and every subject that you have studied during your graduation, right? Whether you are from humanities background, technical background, law background or medical background, each and every subject is included in this 25 course optional subject, right? Just have a quick look from agriculture, right? Animal husbandry and veterinary science, anthropology, botany, chemistry, civil engineering, commerce and accountancy, economics, electrical engineering, geography, geology, history, law, management, mathematics, mechanical engineering, medical science, philosophy, physics, political science and international relations, psychology, public administration, sociology, statistics, and geology. These are the 25 core subjects, right, out of 48 optional, right? Rest 23 are of literature, right? Literature means all the 22 languages that is mentioned in the constitution, right? Including Hindi, Sanskrit, all 22 languages, right? Plus one, that is English, right? So let's see other 23 literature papers, right? 23 literature options. So as I said that all the 22 scheduled languages mentioned in the Constitution of India plus one, that is English. English is not mentioned in the Indian Constitution, right? So you can go for any of them. Now, popular optional subjects, right? Here I have mentioned 15 optional papers, right? That is generally opted by the UPSC aspirants, right? Let's see. So these are the 15 optional papers, right? Apart from that, as I told that there are 48 subjects, you can go for either, but these remain in trend, right? Mostly selected candidates have opted these subjects, right? Any among them, and you can also opt for them. So these 15 optional popular subjects are political science, international relations, right? It has become one of the favorite optional paper for last few years, right? And if you see that in 2024, rank 1, rank 2 had opted this paper, political science and optional international relation, right? Public administration also, right, very popular among aspirants. Sociology, right, geography, anthropology, history, and among literature, right, among literature, Hindi literature is very popular, English is also popular. Apart from that, there are certain literature paper, for example, uh, Tamil or Telugu, right, especially from southern part of aspirants from southern part, they also go for literature paper, right? So philosophy also very popular, economics, right, psychology, law optional, right, these are specific optional papers. If your background is, or if you are from law background, then you can go for law optional paper, right? Mathematics, obviously, if you are from IIT, right, or any other technical background, then you can opt for mathematics. If you have done your graduation in mathematics, you can also go for mathematics optional. Medical science, no need to talk, because it is especially for students of medical science background, right? Commerce and accountancy, mostly if you have done your graduation with accountancy honors, or you are a chartered accountant, company secretary, then you can also go for commerce and accountancy. And lastly, agriculture also one of the popular optional subjects. So these are the 15 optional papers, right, that is popular among aspirants, right? Now the question arises, which is the best optional paper, right? See, the answer is, if you can work hard, right, if you have interest, if you can practice, right, then you can score well in either of the optional paper, right? So now address let's address the issues one by one, right? What are the points you should keep in your mind before opting any optional paper? So let's see. So how to choose optional paper? We have seen the optional papers, all 48 optional papers we have seen, right? We have also seen popular optional subjects. Now, how to choose optional paper? What are the points, right? What are the things you should consider before choosing any optional paper? Because if you have chosen any wrong or any optional paper randomly, right, it will waste your maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or even it can land you into failure, right? So first thing that should be kept in your mind, right, is your interest and comfort level. Interest is very important. Why interest is important? Because let me tell you that the optional paper means the syllabus of optional paper, right? Syllabus of optional paper. If you see the syllabus, right, of optional paper of any subject, right, it is generally above or between, right, above or between your graduation, right, any subject, right, above or between graduation, right, and lower than masters, right? That is the range of the optional paper, right? So go for any optional paper, or for example, if you have done your graduation, right, or masters from any particular subject, and you are thinking about to up that optional paper, in spite of that, you should have interest, right? Because we all know that what we have studied, right, during our graduation, right, college type approach, here you will have to leave your college type or school type approach. Here you will have to gain expertise. As I said that there are 500 marks, in your optional paper, and weightage is 28.75, sorry, 57%, not 75, 57%. So interest is very important, right? Plus comfort level. Are you feeling comfort, right, with particular optional paper or not? That is very important. So choose a subject you genuinely find engaging, right? Interest. For example, some people have interest in history. They can go for history, but only interest is not sufficient, right? We will discuss other points also, but here first important thing is your interest. Are you able to sit and study that paper, right? And again, one more important thing, that on an average time that is taken by the coaching institutes or aspirants, right, to complete one time, right, the syllabus of optional paper once is almost around 6 months, almost around 6 months. That may vary, but average range of completion of an optional paper is around 6 months, 5 to 6 months. That is the minimum range, right? Completion period is almost, right, 6 months, right? It may vary, but that is the minimum or average range, 5 to 6 months, right? So think about that. Plus, after completion of the subject, at least as it is suggested, and I would suggest you that revise it at least 4 times. 4 times revision, right? So you can imagine that first you took, or it will take 6 months, around 6 months. Plus, you have to revise it 3 to 4 times, right? After that, you will achieve the mastery, right? And in between, you have to practice a lot of answer writing, right? So almost you will have to study the optional paper for almost, right, around 2 years, right? 2 years. Why I am saying 2 years? Because just an example that you are, or you have not cracked the exam in the first attempt, right? Then again you will have to revise that optional paper. So it should not be boring, right? That is the average period you will have to study the optional paper, right? And completion, first time completion period is almost 6 months, whether you are taking a coaching or not. It is up to you. And personal interest is crucial, as I said. Next, go through the syllabus and past years papers. That is very important, right? Listen, generally students have confusion, right, between 2 to 3 subjects, right? There are 48 subjects, 25 core subjects, right? So you don't have confusion among 25 subjects, right? Any serious aspirant would go have confusion between 2 to 3 subjects, 2 to 3 subjects, even not even 4 subjects, right? So to clear your doubt, right, to remove your confusion, what should you do? That first go for the syllabus, right, you are thinking about. For example, just example, just aspirant X, right, is thinking about sociology, anthropology, right, or philosophy, right? So three options are there. Just example, person X is thinking about sociology, anthropology, or philosophy, right? So best way is to see the previous year question papers, right? And first, as I said, the syllabus, right? plus previous year question papers, and at least previous year question papers of at least 5 years. Right? Go for the syllabus available on the website of UPSC, or randomly you can search on Google. Right? Syllabus, you will find the syllabus. Right? Plus PYQs. It will help you to understand the pattern of the subject. Right? Pattern of the examination, demand of the syllabus. Right? This is one of the. And one more thing, if you have started, right? If you have started your preparation, but you have not opted for any optional paper, right? Then you can apply the second method. Second method means, for example, you are studying GS1, right? GS2, GS3, GS4. This will also help you to determine the right optional subject. How? For example, while studying GS paper 1, you are studying history, geography, society, right? While studying GS2, you are studying polity, governance, international relations, social justice, right? GS paper 3, ethics, environment, science, technology. GS paper 4, ethics. And ethics is what? Combination of two, right? Mainly combination of, first is philosophy, second psychology, and some portion of governance. Right? Now, if you find your interest in philosophy, psychology, right, you can go for philosophy option. Right? If you find interest in governance, that is part of GS paper 2 and again also GS paper 4, then you can go for what? Public administration. One of the practical subjects that will also help you a lot after selection, during your service, during your tenure. Right? Apart from that, while studying GS paper 2, you study polity, constitution, international relations. Right? So these topics overlap with, and also governance, as I said, overlap with what? Political science and international relations. Right? So you can see that how GS paper, right, 1, 2, 3, 4 can also help you to determine the right optional paper. Right? First method I told you that go for the syllabus you are thinking about plus PYQs, and if you are not able to do that, and in spite of doing that, you have confusion, then this will help you. This method will help you. Right? But this method will help you only when you have started your preparation, or when you start your preparation. Right? There are certain topics, right, that overlap with the optional papers. For example, as I said, GS paper 2, right, and 4 overlap with PSIR. In political science and international relation, right, you study polity, constitution, right, plus international relations, political thinkers. Political thinkers are also part of GS paper 4. Right? GS1, society, will help you to determine whether you are interested in society, social aspects of, right or not. Right? Plus history, geography. GS3, economics is there, science, technology is there, environment is there. Right? GS paper 4, as I said, that it consists of three topics from three subjects. First, philosophy, core philosophy, right? Philosophy, right? Plus psychology and some parts of governance. Right? So this is, you can apply either method I have said. Now, next, availability of resources and guidance. This is also very crucial aspect. For example, you have opted a particular subject, but resources are not available in the market, because you will have to complete the syllabus, right? You will have to revise them, right? Proper answer writing practice is required, proper test series is required, right? If you want to take coaching class, then coaching class is also important. So availability of resources is very important. right? And guidance means it includes coaching, mentorship, right? Answer writing practice, right? Test series, all comes under guidance. So keep that in your mind. Check whether good books, notes, coaching, test series, and mentorship are available or not. As I said, right? For example, right, there are certain subjects like political science and international relations, sociology, anthropology, history, geography, right? Even philosophy, right? Have abundance of resources, right? There are good teachers, mentorship is available, test series is available, right? Even for some literature paper like Hindi, English, right? Again, resources are available in abundance. But some you have opted some optional paper that is different from the mainstream, then it may create you some problem. So keep that in your mind, right? Next, overlap with GS papers and essay. Also, if you are studying a particular subject and it can benefit you, right, in your GS papers, in your essay, then it is the best strategy, right? For example, just right as I said, political science and international relations, right? It is one of the best optional paper. Why one of the best optional paper? Because it has maximum overlap with GS paper, especially GS paper 2. If you are studying or if you have opted for political science and international relation, right, almost your GS paper 2 is complete, almost. Because here you will study polity, constitution in very depth, international relation part of paper, second paper of political science and international relation, right? Apart from that, it will also help you in ethics, because as I said, here you will study political thinkers, political philosophers, Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, right? Indian political thinkers, Indian philosophers. That will also help you in GS paper 4, right? GS paper 2 is almost done if you have opted for PSIR, right? Though answer writing strategy is different in optional and GS papers, but your topics are overlap very much, right? Apart from that, it will also help you in essay, right? Especially as UPSC asked philosophical essays, right? It gives you quote of great political thinkers, great philosophers. That time it will also help you, right? Next, public administration, also one of the most practical subject, right? And popular also. Why? Because it overlaps with GS paper 2, especially governance portion, right? And it will help you a lot, as I said, during your tenure, during your service, right? Next is sociology. Also, as you have to work as a civil servant in the society, you have to serve the people in the society. So here, sociology will help you also a lot in essay, GS1 and ethics, right? As I said, in GS paper 1, society is part of syllabus. That time, sociology will help you, right? Again, geography also important from GS1, essay and environment. Environment, why environment? Because when you will study environmental geography, that is part of optional paper, it will also help you in GS paper 3 of, right, environment portion, right? Next point, background and academic strength, right? As I said earlier, that if you have completed your graduation with a particular subject, right, you can go for that subject without if and but, right? Because so many aspirants, right, have or they are mentally prepared from their school days, even after 10th, class 9, 10th, or intermediate, right? And they have opted a subject that overlap with optional paper. Like for example, any aspirant who is thinking from right, class 11th, right, or 10th, or 10th or 11th, right, or even after graduation, right, or degree, right, and he or she has opted a subject, for example, as I said, political science and international relation, right, or history, or geography, right. Students from technical background, for example, any engineer, IIT, right, they can go for the same subject that overlap with their academic background, right. It will be easier because you have already studied that subject for last 3 years, right. So this could be, and you can go for that, your as per your academic choice, your background, right, as per your strength. Apart from that, as another example, like law, also lawyers, right, lawyers can go for law, doctors can go for what, medical science, right, IITians, right, they can opt for mathematics, right, or other engineering background students, right, they can go for mathematics or physics, right. Now next one, scoring trend and competition, right. Scoring trend means, listen, as I said that for last few years, right, especially 5 to 8 years, political science and international relations are in trend, right, almost among top 10 rank, right, 2 to 3 aspirants are from political science international relation background, right, means they have opted political science as option, right. Apart from that, another choice is sociology, right, anthropology, right, history also, and some students from technical or medical background has opted their own subject, right, their academic subject. So but here you should keep in mind one thing, that be aware, right, don't follow the crowd blindly, right, beware of chasing scoring option blindly, right. Don't think that toppers have opted for political science, I will go for that, right. First point I have mentioned is your interest. Interest is very important. Don't follow anyone blindly, right. First thing is your interest. Second thing, as I said, availability of resources, guidance, right. So these things you should keep in mind, because trend changes after 2, 3, 5, or 10 years, right. But you have to keep in mind first thing, that my interest, am I able to sit and study that subject, am I enjoying that subject, right. Next, length of syllabus. This is also very crucial aspect of optional paper, right. So what is it, that there are some subjects which are very lengthy, right, lengthy, and one more aspect is dynamic, right. For example, political science and international relation, it has maximum overlap with GS paper, GS paper 2, 4, essay also, right. But that is the beauty of political science. But what is the negative aspect, it is very lengthy paper, syllabus is very vast, plus second paper of political science and international relation is very dynamic, because it is completely based on international relations, and every year it changes, it is very dynamic, right. So subjects like history, geography, political science, right, have very lengthy syllabus, right, very lengthy. History, we all know, very lengthy subject, right? Also geography, not only lengthy plus technical subject. Political science, right, very practical subject but very lengthy and dynamic paper, right? So compact ones like anthropology, philosophy, right, have comparatively shorter syllabus, right, if we compare with these subjects, right? I'm not saying that their syllabus is very short, but if you compare with these subjects, their syllabus is very, means comparatively shorter, right? Next, so choose depending on your preparation timeline, right? If you are enjoying, see whether the syllabus is long or short, right? If you are enjoying that subject, you will do it perfectly, right? So find your interest, take time, take time, right? Your, for example, research, right, go analyze each and every paper you are thinking about. And as I said, generally students have confusion between 2 to 3 subjects, right? So take your time, right, do some research, do some homework, right, take advice from your mentors, take advice from your seniors, right? Google is there, YouTube is there, right? So these things are there. Next one, now writing style and analytical ability. Writing style is very important because you have to write answers, and as I said that the answer writing ability in optional paper is different from GS papers. In GS paper you have to write very general answers, right? For example, if the question comes from preamble, right, in GS paper 2, right, you don't need to quote the name of scholars, thinkers, but same question if it is asked in the political science and international relations, then you will have to quote the name of political thinkers, right, scholars. So here in optional paper you will have to become specialist, not generalist. GS paper are written from generalist perspective, but optional papers answers are written from specialist perspective, right? And as I said, that syllabus of optional paper is between graduation to masters, right? So some subjects like sociology, anthropology require diagrammatic and factual representation, obviously, right? But others like political science, international relations, philosophy demand analytical and, right, analytical and argumentative writing, right? Here your analytical skills should be very high, right? Very high means what? As I said, in political science, international relation, you will have to apply your mind, right? You should develop your analytical thinking, you should be critical, right? Critical means you should have critical analytical power, right? Philosophy also demands in-depth thought, right? And lastly, match the subject with your natural writing style. Natural writing style means, as you know, and after writing few answers you will find, right, even after writing GS paper answers you will find that are you able to write in analytical way or in generalist way, right? Or are you a person of good language? Good language means then you can go for any literature paper, right? Also if you are opting any legal law paper like law, right, also demands very analytical power apart from facts, right? Because any lawyer would be knowing that it demands facts. Facts means sections, subsections, clause, subclause, right? Even scholars, name of scholars are also important in political science, international relations, also philosophy, also sociology, also anthropology, right? So take time means you don't need 6 months or 1 year to decide for a single optional paper, but take time means approximately I would suggest that take 10 to 15 days, right? 10 to 15 days, right? That is sufficient to do research and analysis, right? Or certain optional papers you are thinking about, right? Next, past result and toppers preferences. As I said, that generally in every year among top 10, 2 to 3 are from political science, international relations. But don't follow them blindly, right? Find your interest, right? Find your ability, find your timeline, right? So look at recent toppers interview and what options they have, they choose and why. Why? I've already cleared why, right? And many toppers prefer, as I said, political science, international relations, anthropology, sociology. Right? See, if you will see the results of toppers, no? They are from different backgrounds. Even some toppers are from technical background, and they have opted philosophy option. Like one of the topper in 2015, right, was from technical background, right? He was an IITian, but opted for philosophy option, right? Some students from commerce background has also opted for political science and international relations. So it is your interest whether you are able to apply it or not, whether you are able to grab it or not, right? Though certain things matter, for example, academic background matters, right? Interest matters. Again, now, so political science, international relations, anthropology, sociology, public administration, because overlap and good test series availability. Obviously, right? As I said, that there are 15. I have mentioned 15 popular optional subjects, and among these optional subject, right? Almost resources, coaching classes, test series are available. Almost of all 15 optional papers. Right now, here I have made a comparison table, right, of 6 optional papers, right, and the same principles also apply with other optional papers, right. Here I have taken 6 popular optional subjects, right. So first is political science and international relations, right. So what is the pros? We will discuss pros, cons, and lastly best for which kind or whom, best for who can go for this subject. So first, political science and international relations. So as I said, huge overlap with GS paper 2, 4 and essay, right. Plus current affairs. Current affairs means international relations, right, is very dynamic and it is mostly based on current affairs, right. Cons, right, negative aspect. So what is it? As I said, very lengthy syllabus, right, requires a strong writing skill and analysis. That is the cons of this subject. Now, which or who should go for this subject? Aspirant with interest in polity, international relation, and governance. Right. That's why I said that while studying your GS paper, it will help you to determine whether you should go for any particular subject or not. Right. Second, public administration. Again, overlap with GS paper 2, governance polity. Right. Mostly governance and useful in essay and interview. Right. Apart from that, PSIR is also important from your personality test, that is interview, right. Mostly interviewers ask questions from international relations or polity or governance, irrespective of your optional subject, right. But here cons is recent scoring trend inconsistent, right, and it demands a strong conceptual clarity. Now, who should opt this subject? Aspirants interested in governance policy making, right. And the beauty of this paper is one of the practical subjects that will help you even after selection, right? Sociology also one of the best optional paper, right? Highly recommended. So it will help. It is, or its syllabus is short and easy, right? As comparison, listen, no syllabus is very short, right? But comparatively shorter. If we compare with political science, history, geography, then its syllabus is comparatively short, right? Here, examples boost marks, helps in essay, GS1, and ethics. Obviously. Now, cons. Abstract thinkers struggle needs strong uses of case studies. Right? Here you need to remember a lot of thinkers, lot of case studies. Right? And aspirants with interest in society and social change can opt this optional paper. That is sociology. Right? Next, anthropology. Right? So again, its syllabus is comparatively short, right? And very scoring paper. Plus here, diagrams, case studies fetch high marks, right? Here, very limited overlap with GS. Yes, right? If you compare with political science, international relations, sociology, right, or public administration, its overlap with other GS paper is comparatively less. See, most of the optional paper has overlap with GS papers. Some have more overlap, some has less overlap, right? Best for science background aspirants and quick finishers. If you are from science background, then you can go for anthropology, right? Second, next optional paper, that is geography, right? And also popular among aspirants. But good thing is what overlap with GS1, obviously geography, GS3 environmental geography, right? And also essay, right? Beauty of this paper is rich or abundant source, right? Whether study material or coaching, test series or guidance, each and everything is available for this paper, right? And here, importance of diagrams, maps, theories are very important. Now, cons, very vast syllabus, right? Political science, history, geography, these papers have very vast syllabus, right? And they demand, mostly political science and geography demand analytical skill, right? Scaling issue in recent years. Now, who should opt this paper? Students with science, engineering, or humanities background. As I said, that it is a technical subject. Technical means especially if you or when you will study geography, you will understand why I use the term technical subject, right? History, right? If you are good at literature, right, your study capacity, right, is for, or you can study for long hours, then this paper is for you, right? Overlap with GS1, obviously, history portion. Also, it will help you in prelims, essay, right? And abundant material available, whether it is coaching, study material, guidance, mentorship, test series, etc. Now, as I said, very lengthy syllabus and marks vary due to generic answers, right? And aspirants passionate about history, long-term readers, then they can opt for history as option, right? So this was all about how to choose optional paper. We have discussed each and every aspect that will help you to determine an optional paper, right? Now, finally, final advice, right? Final advice, as I said, that do not follow the crowd, even do not follow the toppers blindly. Apply your mind, right? Take a pause, do some research and analysis, right? So first, do not go by what is trending, right? For example, if I have said that every year among top 10s 2 to 3 aspirants are from political science, right? It does not mean that you should go and on the next day you should opt for political science and international relation. Do not do that, right? Your interest matters, right? Your ability matters, your timeline matters. Go by your interest, overlap, and resources, right? As I said, take 10 to 15 days to explore 2 to 3 options. As I said, mostly students have confusion between 2 to 3 optional subjects, right? And this time, right, 2 weeks is sufficient for any kind of research, exploration, or analysis you want to do, right? And here, what will help you? The syllabus plus previous year question papers, right? These two will help you a lot, right, in deciding right optional paper. Plus, as I said, if you have already started your preparation, then GS papers, right, GS paper 1 to 4, right, will help you a lot. While studying all GS papers, you will find that in which subjects I have interest, I have more interest, right? Already I have said. And once chosen, stick to it. Do not change midway. This is very important. Do not change midway. Midway means, for example, I have seen some aspirants that they opted for any particular optional paper. After reading 1 year or 2 year or even after 3 years, they change their optional paper. Trust me, it is a disaster, right? For example, if you have unluckily, if you have opted, right, a wrong optional paper, or you have opted even after doing a lot of research and analysis, right, you have done each and everything I have said, and you have opted an optional paper, right, and after reading, right, 1 month or even 1 year, you find that you are not interested in that paper, or you are not able to perform well in that paper. You can change, but it should be your last option. That's why I said take time, right, before selecting any optional paper, before going for any optional paper. Take time. It will save your years. It is not, there is no guarantee that you will be able to crack this examination in the very first attempt. Though I wish that you should crack this examination in the very first attempt, but there is no guarantee. Some are toppers in their last attempt. Some are toppers in their first attempt. Some are toppers in their fifth attempt. Right? So choose optional wisely. So that's all in this video. We will meet in another lecture. Thank you for watching.